Hey friends, it's Bonnie from Wild Coffee Homestead. So I had a terracotta, plain old terracotta pot. I thought, what could we do with that? You can come along and see how we can transform ordinary into special. Our first step to our transformation is to put some white paint on this. I had a primer paint that we used inside the house here, so I'm just going to use that. You can use anything you want, any kind of water-based paint. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We'll put one coat on, let it dry, then I'm going to lightly sand down the roughness of it and do a second coat. As you can see behind me, these curtains are my inspiration for this pot. I just love the black and white buffalo plaid. So we're going to try if we can't do something in that inspiration for this pot. Something rewarding about taking something that's trash or discarded or rejected and making it into a new creation. I think there's probably a life lesson there. God transforms us from broken people into new creatures. Gives us a second chance. I love that about God. All right, let's peek at the front. Oh, I did miss a spot. Thanks for telling me. Couple spots. Just about ready. See these innocent looking cute puppies back here? You might have noticed the silver bling on our baseboards. Maybe we're trendsetters. I think what it is one of these cute puppies, Charlotte. What are you doing, Charlotte? Has a habit when we leave and she hears us out in the garden, in the yard, she chews on the baseboards. So I found that if I put foil on them, she doesn't chew it, which is very helpful. I did use my handy dandy blow dryer to help this along a little bit. My patience isn't that great. So we have our first coat on here. It's completely dry. Definitely needs another coat. So let's go ahead and get the second coat on. Well, our second coat is dry, and after looking at it after it completely dried, I think it's okay to go ahead. Most of the pot will be covered with gray or black, so I think we're going to go ahead and proceed with our plaid technique. I'm going to start with the gray. This is just craft paint that you get at any Walmart or Michael's or whatnot. I'm just going to put some in a little bowl here. Make it a little easier to dip into. The stripes that we're going to put on here to begin the plaid effect are going to be the width of my sponge brush, so that'll make it kind of easy. Depending on your pot size, you might want to make it different widths. So we're just going to start at the top. I did go through and take a pencil and mark my lines. It's not real accurate, but I just set it up here. Of course, this is about the width of the brush, so that worked out really well. Went under here and just made a little line with my pencil. Just a little guide. Does not have to be perfect. I am not an artist, and this will definitely not be perfect. Okay, we have our gray stripes on. We'll let that dry and then we'll come back and do our vertical stripes. We've let our gray horizontal stripe dry. Now we're going to go ahead and add our vertical stripes. Some more more paint out here. I didn't write any lines. I'm just going to do it the width of the paintbrush and just eyeball it. Hopefully my eyeball does well. Now it's starting to get fun. It's starting to look like something. Now we're going to put our black squares on. I went ahead and made little X's where I want the black, because otherwise it gets a little tricky in your brain. So we're going to be putting the black only on the gray stripes. It's going to be here, here, and here. And we'll just continue that pattern all the way around. For our project. I think it turned out pretty good. Definitely not perfect, but I like it. I wanted to mention to you, if you're going to use a pot like this outside that's been painted, you'll want to put some type of protective spray on it. I'll wait till tomorrow after the paint's good and dry and then go ahead and treat it with that. We'll list this in our description so you can know what the product is. But sure thank you for coming along on this little craft project, DIY. Repurpose your terracotta pot. Hopefully it inspires you to look around your house and see what you can whip up with what you have at home. This basically cost me nothing, everything I had here. So that makes it even more fun. Thanks for joining on the journey. If you like what you're watching, hit the subscribe button and share with your friends. We'd love to meet them.